A question I get asked quite often is, how do I hold consistency when I'm sharpening a knife? I think this gets blown out of proportion quite a bit in the sharpening world. If you hold a consistent angle, yes, your knife will get sharp, and it will get sharper if you didn't. However, consistency isn't the be-all, end-all of sharpness. You really do not have to be that consistent to get a knife sharp. And I'm going to demonstrate that here in a moment, but I just wanted to touch base on this. This knife was sharpened with the Edge Pro Apex probably 2-3 years ago. The human hand will never match the consistency a fixed angle guide can give you. The bevels are extremely flat. There's no roundness to them except for maybe where I've stropped them. So you've got a pretty flat, really bright mirror finish with almost no convexity to it. The biggest piece of advice I got that I found useful was from my buddy Dave to Go 123. And you guys may have heard me say this in other videos, but he told me to embrace the convexity. Once I started really paying attention to what he was meaning, sharpening became a whole lot more enjoyable for me. I quit worrying about how steady I was holding a knife or trying to lock my wrist as I ran it across the stones, and I just let the knife kind of do its own thing and followed Mr. Edgy's advice about letting the knife run its own trajectory. All I really needed to do was be there to keep it on the stone. And that's what you'll get when you're not truly consistent. You're going to get a convex bevel. When you're first sharpening and learning how to sharpen, I highly suggest you not worry about keeping your angle as true as you possibly can, lock in your wrist. Don't worry about that kind of stuff at first. All you want to worry about is getting a knife sharp, getting a new edge put on that knife. And I'm going to show you how little consistency really matters. I'm just going to use a simple knife in a simple steel, which is 8CR13 MOV, and this knife is a Kershaw Crown. I call this a dirty edge because when I'm in a hurry, or say I'm at work and I've dulled the edge, this is kind of what I'll do. I'll take a sharpening stone, hold it in my hand like this, and I'm going to demonstrate dulling the edge. What I'll do is I'll just scrub the knife back and forth until I get a new edge. Now, as quickly as I'm going, do you really think I'm holding consistency in this bevel? There's no way. No way I'm holding good consistency. Now, if I want a pretty edge, obviously I'd want to go slow and try to hold my angle as well as I possibly can. But I'm trying to demonstrate here, consistency really isn't all it's cracked up to be. Those last two swipes are just to cut the burr off. You don't have to do that when you're first starting doing this. So that was 320. Here goes 1K. You don't even have to go this high. You could just stop at 320. Maybe strop your knife or cut that burr off. You're ready to go. But we're gonna go the full Monty here. All I'm doing is rotating the knife as I scrub. And what I'm doing is looking for that burr. Once I got the burr developed, I know I've reached the apex. I know I'm ready to move on. Again, there's no way I'm holding consistency doing this. But if you embrace the fact that it's going to convex, and there's nothing you can do about it, doesn't really matter. Just as long as you get the knife sharp, right? All you're after is a sharp knife. At least when you start. As you go about it and get better and practice more, you'll want to slow down. Alright, I've got a burr. But as you start learning, you'll want to slow down, maybe start doing wide strokes like this. And as you start doing wide strokes like this, you'll start to, over time, develop muscle memory, and you'll develop consistency just through practice. You won't even realize it's happening, it just occurs. But again, I'm just trying to prove a point here. That consistency is not the be-all, end-all of getting a knife sharp. So that was 320, 1K. And we are going to finish on 5K. We're going to say that's good enough. All I'm going to do now is strop the knife and test for sharpness. And I'm going to try to do this all in one take, just so you guys can see it. So this is where my current edge is. Or rather my current bevel. Not uber sharp. I know that. Super convex. I know that. But it's sharp. And when you're first starting out, that's all you want to do. You want to learn how to get an edge on the knife. Not the prettiest edge, but it ain't bad. Especially for a slapdash, quick and dirty. Once you start practicing and really understanding what's going on, then you can concentrate on trying to get every stroke as close to the last as possible. But even myself personally, I don't even bother with that anymore. It's just a natural thing for me. I'm probably 3 or 4 degrees off on every single stroke. That's why my edges come out so convex. But I don't mind the convexity. I like it. My edges are much stronger because of it, and I don't have to sharpen them as often. All I've got to do is take them to a strop, 5 or 6 passes on each side, and I'm done. Hopefully this will help some of you guys. kind of dispel some of the myths that, you know, are running around out there. If you have any questions or comments, as always, please leave them below. If you want a full-on tutorial on how I do things, check out my sharpening technique video. I will link it below as well as up top. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.